Ontario's bold energy bill, economic growth or growing pains. The introduction of Ontario's Protect Ontario by Securing Affordable Energy for Generations Act, 2025, widely known as Bill 40, marks a transformative moment in the provincial energy landscape. As Ontario seeks to secure an affordable, innovative, and forward-looking energy future, the bill's sweeping amendments to the Electricity Act, the Municipal Franchises Act, and the Ontario Energy Board Act signal a renewed focus on economic growth, clean hydrogen development, and regulatory reform. A multifaceted legislative overhaul. Bill 40 creates a new framework designed to promote an integrated energy strategy that does more than simply manage the grid. The bill's amendments to the Electricity Act, 1998, for example, explicitly integrate economic goals into the energy system's objectives. By calling for the development of a hydrogen market and economics tailored to low-carbon applications, the bill is positioning Ontario at the forefront of clean energy innovation, a critical move as global energy markets increasingly pivot towards sustainable fuels. Another major development is the introduction of new connection requirements for large-scale facilities, particularly aimed at data centers, facilities known for consuming vast amounts of electricity. These rules are intended to ensure that only those facilities able to meet prescribed criteria can connect or reconnect to transmission and distribution networks. Proponents argue that such measures will safeguard grid stability and reflect Ontario's commitment to balancing growth with robust infrastructure management. Shifting decision-making from public vote to municipal governance. One of the more controversial changes in Bill 40 occurs at the municipal level. The bill removes the long-standing requirement for municipal elector assent on public utility bylaw approvals. Instead, it hands decision-making exclusively to municipal councils. Supporters claim this will streamline essential energy-related projects and reduce delays in critical infrastructure investments. However, critics caution that this move could marginalize local public opinion and reduce transparency in decisions that directly affect ratepayers and community development. Rate stabilization and public funding. Bill 40 also brings novel changes to how the financial aspects of energy regulation are handled. By authorizing government-funded payments to electricity transmitters, the legislation is aimed at stabilizing rates and ensuring that the financial burden of grid investments does not fall entirely on consumers. This intervention is a departure from the market-driven approaches seen in provinces like Alberta, where competition shapes energy pricing. While such public funding may prevent abrupt rate hikes, questions remain over long-term fiscal sustainability and the potential implications for taxpayer liabilities. Comparing provincial approaches. In a national context, Ontario's Bill 40 distinguishes itself from the energy bills in other provinces. For instance, where Alberta champions deregulated markets and competitive pricing, Ontario's approach is more interventionist. Similarly, Quebec's focus on hydroelectric reliability and BC's commitment to renewable resources contrast with Ontario's dual emphasis on economic growth and hydrogen market development. By tailoring its reforms to local economic needs and energy consumption patterns, especially among industrial users, the bill aims to balance strategic growth with consumer protection. Implications for energy-intensive industries. For energy-intensive industries, particularly data centers, Bill 40 could be a double-edged sword. On one hand, the incorporation of connection requirements ensures that only facilities capable of managing peak loads and supporting grid stability can operate. On the other hand, these restrictions may add an extra layer of regulatory compliance, potentially affecting the pace at which industries can expand. Energy providers and large-scale consumers will need to closely monitor how these new rules are interpreted by both regulators and municipal bodies. Public reaction. A mixed reception. The bill has stirred a spirited debate among Ontario residents and industry stakeholders alike. Supporters highlight the potential for job creation, economic stimulation, and the growth of a robust hydrogen economy. Critics, however, raise concerns over diminished public participation in local utility decisions, the financial implications of increased public funding, and uncertainties surrounding future electricity costs. As the bill moves toward implementation, its ultimate impact on everyday Ontarians, both in terms of economic opportunity and consumer affordability, will be closely scrutinized. Bill 40 is poised to redefine Ontario's energy future by embedding economic ambitions in its regulatory DNA. Whether it will successfully create a dynamic, secure, and affordable energy environment remains to be seen. As the debate continues, industry leaders, municipal policymakers, and the public must work together to ensure that the energy transition is as inclusive as it is forward-thinking. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites from E+E Leader. For more information on sponsorship opportunities, reach out to our team today.